Welcome back to FM Storey. We're into the second half of season 11. Unfortunately, we ended the last episode with a heartbreaking defeat on penalties in the Allianz Cup semi-final against Porto. But in this episode, the Champions League comes back, and hopefully we can go a long way towards winning the title as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into the action. We've made it towards the end of February. And we've got an almost immediate chance for revenge over Porto. We've got them coming up in the league at home after they knocked us out of the semi-final of the Allianz Cup. Since that game, things have gone really well on the pitch. We started with a home game against Vitória Guimarães, which we won 4-0. Really comfortable performance. Mbappe picked up a slight knock, and we've been able to rest him from the next couple of games. We then went away to Arouca and came away with another comfortable 5-0 victory this time. And then in the most recent game, we were at home to Casapia and an even more comfortable 6-0 victory. We had a chance to rest a few players, so Mbappe didn't play, Arda didn't play, Maurice Goossens didn't play, giving some of the players we brought in a chance as well. The only unfortunate thing is Tanguy Nyanzu picked up a yellow card, so he's now suspended from the game against Porto. What it means as far as the league's concerned is that we're currently top, won 19 out of 20 games, drawn the other, 58 points. We're 12 points clear of Benfica with a game in hand. We are 19 points clear of Porto with a game in hand on them. So with a game in hand on them, obviously, hopefully we'll be even further ahead come this game. We have rotated the team slightly, so you can see Milos Bortic, who we only signed in January, is our top scorer in the league with 11. And we've dropped off somewhat in the assists, but that's not through our performances dropping off. We have scored 84 goals in 20 games, so we are scoring at over 4 goals a game. And obviously, hopefully we can get a measure of revenge against Porto and go a step closer to retaining the title for the 10th successive season. So this is the side we've picked to go into the game against Porto. In terms of the team, Basioli's become our first choice right back, with obviously the issues we had with Goncalo Estevez during January and wanting to be away. Even if he was still in the team, he wouldn't be playing today because he's ill. So Kimo Camara's come in for Tanguy Nyanzu in the centre of defence. And Alotebi's injured, so it means that Simovic has gone back to left back, and it gives us a 2 in the defensive midfield of Jack Arrowsmith, who's been outstanding recently, and Emery Delibas, who's probably better in the 10 and has done really well in there since the turn of the year, but can play in that defensive midfield role as well. And then in terms of the bench, we've obviously got a bit of firepower on the bench with Kouame, Pascual, Suzuki, Alonso, Bortic, and then the one player who's really kind of set the world alight in the last few months, Miguel Ferreira, who we signed in the summer. He has been outstanding pretty much every time he played. But we do have a matter of revenge to serve on Porto, so hopefully we can get off to a quick start at home and put some pressure on them. Long ball by the keeper. Goossens nods it down to Arda. Goes round the outside, cuts in. Is that a penalty? It looked a bit soft. He's kind of dangled his leg there to try and initiate the contact. And there we have it. It is a penalty. Kylian Mbappe stepping up to take it. Oh my god. That was bad. Right. Somehow we got away with that one. They've won 2 headers in the box there. But Maignan goes long, looking for Goossens. It's gone right through over the top. He's dinked it over the keeper. And there we have it. Probably, in terms of the quality of the chances against the run of play, Maignan with a long punt just down the middle of the defence, parted like the Red Sea. Goossens with a lovely first touch and then just dinks it over the on-rushing keeper. And that's us 1-0 up. Simovic to Mbappe. Puts onto his right, looks for Arda, who nods it down, but they've nicked it in the box, but they left it behind. Camera to Mbappe. Lovely finish, 2-0, and we're starting to take control here. I mean, they just pass the ball forward and the centre forward just leaves it. Camera steps forward, long ball up to Mbappe, takes it on his chest, takes a touch, and gets lucky with the deflection going past the keeper. And there we have it, half time. We didn't start well, but the longer the half went on, the better we got. We gave them a lifeline by missing the penalty, but we've taken 2 decent chances, and we're in a pretty strong position going into the second half. Now, we made one change at half time. We've moved Delibas forward and taken Felix off, and moved Ferreira into the defensive midfield role. Arrowsmith breaking away after we've cleared the free kick. Finds Mbappe onto Goossens. I think he was probably offside. He's put it in the back of the net, but we'll have to wait and see what VAR decides. It looked like he'd gone too early. And he had. A couple of times we could have played the ball, and in the end he just went a touch too early. It's a lovely finish once he gets in the box though. Right, Delibas to Arda. White, Mbappe into the box. Pulls it back. Delibas' shot's blocked. Bassioli back to Ferreira on the edge of the box. They've broken away now. Ramos to Lilo. Right, they're into our box and it's gone over the bar. That was a bit easy for them getting in there. And there we have it. Pretty comfortable 2-0 victory. They did pretty much nothing in the second half. It means we still stay 12 points clear of Benfica at the top. And we're now 22 points clear of Porto. So for them to catch us would require the collapse of all collapses. We're into the early stages of March, and we've come back a bit earlier than expected after the Porto game because we've got a huge game, the second leg of the Champions League round of 16, home leg against Man City. Since the Porto game, things have continued going well on the pitch. We started with a comfortable 4-0 victory away at AC Viseu. Suzuki, Botic with a couple, and Nianzou with a late goal. We then were at home to Paxter Ferreira and picked a pretty much second string team and came away with a comfortable 5-0 victory with a hat-trick from Botic. We then had the home leg away against Man City, and we weren't great, but we came away with a 0-0 draw. Hopefully it puts us in a strong position going into the home leg. And then in the most recent game, we were away at Benfica, and we came away with a 2-1 victory. We were pretty much in control. They had a couple of chances later on. They had a goal disallowed before they got their actual goal. So we were hanging them on a touch towards the end. But in the end, we did win the game. And as far as the league's concerned, it means we are still top of the table. We still have only drawn that one game. We have only conceded 6 goals this season. We've scored 97 now. We have got a 17-point lead over Benfica with a game in hand on them. And we're 27 points clear of Porto, who are down in 5th. Milos Botic, who we only signed in January, is really scoring loads of goals in the league. He's now got 17 since we signed him at the beginning of January. So obviously a really good signing, and it just means that we've been able to rest some of the key players in some of the league games as well, because we know we've got that strength and depth that's good enough for the league. But question is, do we have enough quality to get past a team like Man City? We have struggled in the last couple of seasons in the round of 16, and we've gone out certainly in the last season or two in that round. Hopefully we can put on a performance at home and make it through to the quarter-final. For some reason we had a pretty big problem with the recording of the Man City game, so we're just going to have a look through the highlights of what happened. Going into the game, we picked the strongest team that we could. We're missing Al-Atabi, so Asimbrish playing left back, and he's struggling for fitness as well. As far as Man City is concerned, they'd brought Erling Haaland back, who missed the first leg, wasn't even on the bench, so hopefully he's slightly getting on a bit. I think he's carrying an injury as well, so hopefully he's not going to be too devastating to our hopes. I'm starting off with a free kick from Arda, looking for Nianzi, whose header just floats over the bar and hits the roof of the net. Corner from Mbappe, looking for Nianzi at the back post. They head clear a couple of times. Arda picks it up, finds Delibas, who just moves it on to Mbappe, cutting in from the edge of from the corner, and just somehow slots it past the keeper. And that was just to put us 1-0 up. Now they're attacking. Vanderson into Musiala. Pulls it back. Vanderson. Haaland was kept out by Maignan there. It was far too easy for them to get into the box. It's probably a bit of a struggle. Hopefully not. Foden with the corner. Somehow with our small team, Nianzu gets up to head it clear. And they a couple of shots from the edge of the box blocked, and we force them backwards, and that's the end of the attack. Again, they're attacking down this left-hand side. Goes in looking for Haaland. Nianzu heads clear to Delibas. There's a lovely ball down the left-hand side to Mbappe, who takes it to the byline, cuts back, pulls it back to Goossens, who smashes home from a volley on the penalty spot. That puts us 2-0 up. And really a bit against the run of play, because they'd had everything before that. Now they're coming forward. Thuram into Haaland. Plays it back off to Thuram. Vanderson floats a ball into Ferreira. Foden finds Haaland. Too much space. Takes a touch, smashes it past the keeper. And it's 2-1 up at half time for us. Very even game. Second half kicks off with us having a corner. Arda to take it. Nianzu at the near post. Flicks his header past the keeper. And that puts us 3-1 up. And restores a bit of control in the game for us. A corner, a free kick for Foden. Mbappe half clears it, but only as far as Foden. And then Mbappe wins the ball back near our own goal line. And we play about with it a bit. Looks for long ball over the top. But then they come back at us. Haaland looking for Dedic, but Bassioli nicks it off him. Pascual has had Mbappe in acres of space. Went for Goossens. Mamardashvili cleared it off his own defender. And Mbappe couldn't hit the target with the open goal. They take a short goal kick, which we pressurise. Delibas finds Goossens, finds Pascual in the edge of the area, in the box. Should do better. And at this point, we're kind of really struggling and thinking, are we going to regret missing these chances? But thankfully, in the rest of the game, they didn't really create that many chances. We were a lot better in that second half. And we come away with 3-1 victors. Getting out of the knockout round for the first time in a couple of years, the round of 16, and it was probably the toughest game we could have got at that stage as well. And now we just have to wait and see who we get in the quarter-final. We've made it to the end of March, and things have continued on the pitch in a really good form since the win against Man City. We went away to Maritimo in the league and won 3-0. Really comfortable performance. We then went away to them a couple of days later in the Taça de Portugal semi-final first leg. Not as comfortable. We did take a lead just after the half hour. Nianzi was sent off for a crazy challenge, but we were able to double our lead. They had a goal disallowed later on to enable us to keep the 2-goal advantage. And then in the most recent game, we went away to Porto and won 3-0. Pretty comfortable performance, 2-0 up after 20 minutes. And they didn't really threaten us at all. As you can see, we've been drawn in the quarterfinal of the Champions League against Dortmund, which I think is not too bad a draw looking at their squad. So hopefully we can push on from that in the next episode. We've got the semi-finals, second leg of the semi-final of the Taça de Portugal, and it's only a matter of time before we win the league. We are 19 points clear of Benfica. We've got a game in hand on them. They can only get to 21 points. In the rest of the season. So basically, if we win our next game in the league against Famalicão, we'll win the title, and then that'll allow us to concentrate more on what we've got coming up in the Taça de Portugal and the Champions League. We've also had the Next Gen Award. We have 3 of the top 11. We've got Miguel Ferreira in 7th, who we signed in the summer from Porto, who's been outstanding. He's played 18 games for us in all this season. He's got 5 assists, 4 goals, average rating is 7.32. He's been outstanding when he's been called upon in the team. At number 8, we've got Rodrigo Gomez, who we've sent out on loan to Famalicão in the second half of the season. He's played 8 games for them, not really set the world alight, but looks a really, really promising player for a 17-year-old. Looking at those attributes, he could be a big part of our future. And then we've got Issouf Traoré in 11th, who we signed from ASEC Mimosas, like we signed quite a few players from the Ivory Coast club. He's already played 11 times for the Ivory Coast national team. He's been basically the backup centre-half this season. We've basically had 4 centre-halves. We've had Nianzou, we've had Kamara, then we've had Benavides and Traoré. Traoré, when he's been called upon, by and large has done a pretty good job. He's just not quite good enough to be challenging to be a regular starter in the first choice team. But he's done a job when called upon and promising for the future as well. And there we have it. The end of another episode. Things are going well. It's only a matter of time before we wrap the title. We've got a very good chance of making it to the semi-final of the Champions League. We've got a good chance of making it to the Portugal final. Hopefully we can end the season with a couple of trophies and a decent run in the Champions League. Thanks for watching, and we'll find out what happens next time.